We are back with another episode of the Middle Tennessee Dynasty here on CFB 26. Usually the first episode after an off season is the recap video, but instead of doing a full video recap of the off season, I'm going to encourage you guys to go watch the full live stream, but I'm also going to recap what happened in the off season in this video before we get into season 3. So let's get into it. First and foremost, if you didn't see the last episode of this series, Notre Dame beat Duke in the national championship, so 2 straight national championship losses for Duke. Meanwhile, Notre Dame, who got left out of the playoffs IRL and then boycotted bowl season, well, they're in the ACC in this series, and, see what happens when you join an actual conference in football, Notre Dame? You win a national championship. We had quite a few players that were trying to transfer, including Jaquel Middlebrook, who I really wanted to bring back, but he decided he didn't want to come back over here, which is kind of disappointing. But Andrew Paul also wanted to transfer as well, wanting to go to a championship contender, but we convinced him to stay. So at least we bring back one of our running backs. The third big transfer potential player is Anthony Bynum, and he decides he's going to leave. He wants to play in the pros, doesn't think he can do that over here, so that really sucks because he was a beast. Stefan Molinaro is somebody who is a star dev, and I really didn't want to lose him, even if he wasn't going to start over Pierre Goss, but he is going to transfer as well. And honestly, that is a huge loss, and you're going to see how he develops wherever he goes, and you're going to see how big of a loss that is. And then Deontay Black, who's one of our backup free safeties, decides to stay, so that's a good pickup there. And Jackson Lowe, who is a redshirt sophomore who could also develop into a decent corner, he wants to transfer somewhere to play in the pros, and he is going to leave after all. We couldn't persuade him to stay. Not a huge loss, but still. And then Robert Sampson is somebody who decides to stay as well. And then we try to bring back Shakir Galan to keep our will linebackers together, but he really wants to leave, so not much we can do there. We'll get into National Signing Day here as Tevin Doyle, this 3-star right guard out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, decides to sign with us. Definitely will boost up our O-line a little bit. Only normal dev, unfortunately. Taylor Baggs, the right edge out of West Virginia. He's an impact dev. He signs with us. Same with David Noriega, who is a will linebacker. Then Mano Tinoe Samoa is a star dev, so that's a huge pickup at Mike linebacker. Jace Scalzi signs. Trayvon Regis, the Mike signs. Ben Paulo, the punter signs. We get DeAndre Flemister, the quarterback. Maka Tahamu, the athlete. Brock Jones, the right tackle, and then we're kind of scrolling a little quickly. We do miss out on Nick Bland, who decides to go to Wake Forest. He's a 3-star out of Chesapeake, Virginia. Mike Schitt out of Indiana comes with, and then Emmett Carmen, who's from Murfreesboro, signs with Virginia over us. We get some 4-stars in Book and Casper and Hicks as well. So we get some pretty good players who will be freshmen or just JUCO guys coming over from JUCO. Matt Hunt's a huge pickup. He's a top 100 guy. Amari Jefferson out of Tennessee is somebody I really wanted to get. He did play for Memphis last season, but he decides to sign back with them. We do get Davi Belfort, the son of MMA fighter Vitor Belfort, so that's a huge pickup. And we do get Braylon McReynolds and Iverson Hooks as transfers. Shakai Woods is back, by the way. You remember him from season 1. He is going to make his return for his senior year. And then we get a pretty big pickup at the bottom and receiver Enrique Costanzo. He's a star dev wide receiver. Probably won't play much this year, but he could end up being really good for us in the future. So now we'll look at the schedule. We're going to start the season off against South Alabama and Georgia Tech at home before heading over to Knoxville to take on Tennessee. And we do play Cal at the end of the season in Berkeley. So looking at our starting lineup, Pierre Goss returns as the starting quarterback. Had an up and down season, but finished 5-1 as a starter last year, so I'm expecting big things from him in his sophomore year. Looking at the rest of our offensive starters, Andrew Paul returns as a starting running back with Jaquel Middlebrook leaving, and then Braylon McReynolds, who transferred from Arkansas State after spending his first season at Louisiana Monroe. He'll get some carries as well. Iverson Hooks, the transfer from UAB. He put up 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns last season, so he should be pretty good. Kason Stokes returns as wide receiver number 2. Tavion Galloway looks to have a bigger role in the offense this year. And our offensive line, We have a few new starters. We have Kyle Larkin and Nikola Milovic, who both played last year. Sam Pendleton returns. Isaac Ruse starting at right guard. And Kevin Haywood, the transfer from Wisconsin, will be the starter at right tackle. And on the defensive line, Tavares Mustard will be the starter at left edge. He's a 3-star recruit from Miami, Florida, and redshirted last season. Shakai Woods is going to be starting at D tackle after transferring from Buffalo. Had a pretty decent season with the Bulls, but not as good as he was with us in season 1. Collins at Chempong returns as a starting right edge. He had a big season, getting 12.5 sacks last season. At the linebacking core, we have Corey Smith, who is our starting Mike linebacker this year. He is a senior, and hopefully he can finish out his career at Middle Tennessee State on a high note. And then we have Ty Doris, the true freshman at Adulton, Georgia. He's a 3-star recruit. He's going to be starting right away. And then we have Andre Lovett, who's going to be the sub linebacker. He did play starting free safety for us last season, but should have a bigger role for us this year. And then we have Quintarius Tolbert, who's transferring from Colorado, who will be playing the nickel corner spot for us. Starting corners will be Stephen Mincy, the redshirt freshman transfer from Oklahoma, and Quaysheed Scott, who was a starter for us last season. Jordan Beasley, the sophomore redshirt, is going to be the starting free safety with Lovett moving into the box. And Malcolm Ziegler returns for his senior season as a starting strong safety. So that's our starting lineup. As we sim week 0, and we'll look in the top 25. Nebraska blows out Miami of Ohio. Georgia with a big win over FCS West. UCLA beats FCS West as well. And BYU with a win over Oregon 31-21. Auburn takes care of Louisiana 34-19. Miami takes care of business against South Carolina 35-14. And Alabama with a little closer of a game than it should have been against FCS Southeast. 49-28 was the final over there. So we open up our season in week 1, taking on South Alabama. And I don't like them just because they're the Jaguars, but that's besides the point. They finished 5-7 last season and actually lost their final 2 games of the season to miss out on bowl season. They were 5-5 and then lost to 2 pretty tough teams in UAB and UTSA. So they're looking to start their season off right here, despite the fact that they're a bit outmatched as far as skill is concerned. But let's get into it as we open the season up at home. Will this be the season that we finally get over the hump and find our way into the playoffs? We'll have to see. Definitely going to have a lot to overcome this season. But I will say this season I decided to take away the divisions, so the best 2 teams in each conference will be playing in their conference championship games. So even if we lose to Missouri, we'll probably still be able to play them in the conference championship game. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get week 1 started as we open up the season kicking it away. And they'll actually take it out of the end zone here. It's a bold strategy there. And does not pay off for them at all as they'll have the ball at the 13-yard line. Their best offensive player is wide receiver Anthony Eager, and we'll see how much damage he does to us today as they're led by Jared Hollins at quarterback. He'll hand it off up the middle. There's Jeff Jackson, the sophomore, picking up about 8 on the play. Now 2nd and 2. Hollins will fake it this time. He has time. Throws right side. That's going to be completed for the first down. Ben Hines gets his first college catch as this is his redshirt freshman season. Handoff up the middle to Jackson again. This time he's going to get into MTSU territory, picking up the first down. So now Hollins is in the shotgun. He'll drop back. Has a receiver wide open, and he just overshoots him. Not much of an effort from the receiver, but not a great throw either. So now it's going to be a 3rd and 3. Quick throw left side. That's completed for the first down. And this South Alabama team is rolling early. 1st and 10. Hollins throws over the middle. That's going to be completed all the way up to the 15 for yet another first down. We were really struggling early on in this game to defend the pass. Now Hollins has time, decides to scramble. He'll pick up the first down inside the 5, and it's going to be 1st and goal. So not a very impressive start for this defense as they'll hand it off up the left side. That's going to be a touchdown for South Alabama. Bill Shepley punches it in, and the Jaguars take an early 7-0 lead. So now we'll see what Andrew Paul does as the starting running back for our offense as Pierre Goss gets the start at quarterback. He'll hand it off up the middle. Nice run. That's Braylon McReynolds getting the first carry of the game. He coughs it up, and South Alabama picks it up. Oh, this has just not been a good start for us, to say the very least at all. We do end up reviewing the play, though, and McReynolds' knee is actually down before he coughs up the football, so we avoid a complete disaster early on in this game. 2nd and 1 now. Paul's in the backfield this time. He'll get the carry and runs into his line, but he still ends up picking up the first down. So pretty decent blocking there. Now 1st and 10. Handoff. Paul up the middle this time, picks up the first down. Really good blocking there as Chris Jones is injured for South Alabama. So now 2nd and 10. Goss throws right side. There's a completion and a first down for the senior wide receiver Nathan Keys. He only had 3 catches last season, but will have a much bigger role this year as Paul will run it up the middle on 2nd down for about 7 yards. That'll lead to a 3rd and 3. Goss will drop back. He's looking right side. That's going to be completed for a first down inside the 20. He finds Iverson Hooks for his first catch as a Blue Raider. So now 1st and 10. Here's a dump off over the middle. That's going to be completed for the first down once again. This time it's Dalton Harmon, the redshirt freshman, making the grab. And now 1st and goal, and Andrew Paul's going to run in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Blue Raiders. And we tie things up at 7 apiece. So now we'll see what USA does here. Quick throw left side. There's Shepley into the open field. Corey Smith just got there late. And it's a big gain in the first down for the Jaguars. 2nd and 10 now after an incompletion. Shepley gets the carry. Great blocking there, and our defense just did not get there in time, but a nice hit there by Malcolm Ziegler. Shepley picks up 7. That'll lead to a 3rd and 3. Hollins throws left side, and it's the tight end Cross Nimmo who's going to get the first down up to the 48. So now 2nd and 8, under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Hollins throws left side. It's completed for the first down all the way to the 26, and Hollins is now over 100 yards here in the first quarter. Does not bode well for this defense, but this time we're able to get the stop in the backfield. That's a 4-yard loss, and there's Shakai Woods making the play. Now it's going to be 2nd and 14. Here's a throw on the run. That's going to be intercepted. Malcolm Ziegler, the big play safety, does it again, and he gets his first pick of the season. First pick of the season for us in general. So now we have the football inside our own territory, and McReynolds gets a nice run, getting us from out of the shadow of our own goalposts and picks up the first. So now here's Goss on the screen pass. McReynolds takes it inside, now takes it outside. He's to the 40, spins out a defender, and he's going to get all the way up to the 44-yard line. Huge first down for McReynolds as he's already making a big impact on this offense. And now, not even going to cut to the next play. We're going to go right into it, though. Here's a screen to Paul this time. Nice blocking down the field, and Paul picks up a first down. That'll be how we end the first quarter. Knotted up at 7 apiece as South Alabama has come to play so far in this one. Second quarter action here. 1st and 10. Handoff to Paul up the middle. And doesn't get a whole lot there. Just kind of overran his blocking. But now 3rd and 5. Here's a handoff on the RPO. Paul picks up the first down past the 30 up to the 28-yard line. It'll be a new set of downs. So now Goss out of the shotgun. He'll roll to his right. And he's going to take off. Not a lot of speed on Goss, but he can definitely get away when he needs to. And he picks up about 10, just short of the marker. Now 3rd and 1. Quick throw over the middle, and it's a wide open Tavion Galloway. And he's going to force his way in. Touchdown, Blue Raiders. And hopefully that's the beginning of a big season for Galloway. I have big expectations from him. And we're up 14-7. There's Jeff Jackson getting stopped for a minimal gain there. That'll lead to a 2nd and 9. Here's Hollins looking. He has time to throw. Throws on the run. Finds a wide open man and is caught for the first down. And they're going to go no huddle. 2nd and 8 after a 2-yard gain. Here's Hollins. Looking, under pressure, he's going to be brought down, and it's Collins at Shempong getting to him. That'll drop him for a loss, and it's going to lead to a 3rd and 16. Hollins is looking, dumps it off right side, and it's a broken tackle, but we're still able to push out the receiver just a yard short of the marker. Ben Hines with 69 yards. Nice. But we're going to get the football back on a punt. 2nd and 5. Goss stepped up into the pocket. Right into RJ Moss. That'll lead to a 3rd and 9. Goss has time. Throws over the middle. It's Galloway making the grab. He's wide open. And he's going to get to midfield. A nice play there by Goss, keeping his eyes up and finding Galloway wide open. Now here is McReynolds on the carry. He'll pick up about 8 on the play. And that'll lead to a 3rd and 2. We're going to go RPO again. Throw out to Keys, and Keys is going to be able to get the first down just barely. Probably not the guy you want running bubble screens on RPOs, but, I mean, he made it work there. As Paul's going to pick up about 7 on the play. That'll lead to a 2nd and 4, under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. And Paul probably could have had a bigger run if he didn't run into that defender, but he gets the first down regardless. Now 3rd and 10. Right before the 2-minute warning, Goss is under pressure, throws it, and somehow he finds Galloway. Galloway doesn't get the first, but still a great play by Goss. Could have been a disaster. We're going to go for it, though, here on 4th and 4. Quick throw over the middle, and it's going to be a first down. Dalton Harmon picks it up, and we keep the drive alive. Now 3rd and 4. Goss dumps it off right side. Probably not a great decision, but it was incomplete anyways. So now Jacob Taylor, who was a very dependable kicker for us last season, will make the field goal. Pretty much a chip shot for him, and it's 17 all. So now here's an RPO. There's Eager. He's eager to get out into the open field, but he's pushed out at the 47. Still gets the first down, and we are still struggling to stop the pass here. And now here's the throw right side. That's going to be broken up on 3rd and 7. Great play there. And we're going to get the football back with 39 seconds to go here in the first half. Goss steps up. He's going to scramble, get some blocks. Nice block from Paul in particular. And Goss gets out of bounds. 2nd and 11 now, 28 seconds to go. And there's going to be an interception on the screen pass. It's the true freshman Max Jeffrey, and the big man nearly gets a pick 6 there in his first ever collegiate game. That's a story you're going to tell your grandchildren for sure. Now here is Hollins trying to dive into the end zone on 1st down, and he's going to get hit hard by Ziegler. Ziegler picks it up, and he's going to take it all the way back to the residence. So what a turnaround. What a couple of plays in a row. Goodness gracious. But it ends up in our favor, and we're up 24-7. That'll be the score at the half, but those last 2 plays were something else. South Alabama's definitely been a lot closer in this game than the score is showing, but we got the lead, and that's all that matters to me. We'll see if we can play a cleaner second half of football here as we're on offense to start things off. Goss will roll out to his right, has some space. He's going to pick up the first down. And yes, I do intend on running with Goss a little bit more this season than I did last year. Now 3rd and 6. Goss throws over the middle. It's going to be completed, and it'll be a first down across midfield. That is Iverson Hooks making the grab there. Now 1st and 10. Goss on the play fake, dumps it off right side. What? Nathan Wilder, that's why you don't get playing time. That was just ridiculous. And then, oh my goodness. The read option, Goss keeps it. He gets blown up, coughs up the football, and South Alabama's going to take it back for 6. My goodness, what a fever dream this game has been so far. 24-14 is the score now. Here's a handoff. Paul right up the middle. He'll pick up about 9. That'll lead to a 2nd and 1. Goss is in the shotgun this time. Quick throw over the middle. This time Wilder makes the grab, and he's going to get up to about the 48 for the first. So now 3rd and 6. They send the blitz. Goss throws over the middle. It's going to be caught. Kason Stokes, welcome to the party. He'll pick up the first down there. Now it's going to be 2nd and 10. Handoff up the middle. Paul's able to pick up about 4, but he is injured on the play. So that's not great. We'll probably see more McReynolds for the next few plays at least. 3rd and 6. Goss throws, and he finds Galloway for the first down. Wide open up the seam, and he gets up to the 10. McReynolds still in the game here on 2nd and goal. Goss, quick throw over the middle. Galloway makes the grab. He does not get tackled into the end zone, but he gets very close. 3rd and goal. Here's the handoff, and McReynolds is going to punch it in for the Blue Raiders touchdown. His first touchdown as a Blue Raider, and it's 31-14 now. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. South Alabama still has a shot, but they got to get some points here and now. And there's a completion right side for the first, all the way up to the 40. Ben Hines with 5 catches for 95. He's having himself a day so far. Now here's a handoff to Jackson. He's going to pick up a pretty nice chunk of yardage, about 7 yards to be exact. That'll lead to a 2nd and 3. This time Shepley gets the carry, and he gets another yard to make it 3rd and 2. So we'll see what they decide to do here. They're going to throw it, and there's a throw over the middle, wide open. That's Ben Hines again, and he's going to get up to our 18-yard line. And here come the Jaguars. Here's Hollins looking. Oh, he's hit as he throws. He had a man there, but just couldn't get it off. And they end up kicking a field goal to make it 31-17. So now we have the football again. McReynolds gets the handoff on the draw play. Could have been a disaster there, but he picks up 9. Now 2nd and 1. Handoff to Paul, who's back in the game. He's blown up in the backfield. Good play there for the D-line. That'll lead to a 3rd and 3. Goss throws over the middle, and a nice catch for the first down. As Galloway again coming up with another big one. And now 1st and 10. Handoff to McReynolds up the middle. He'll pick up the first down up to the 48 as we keep the drive rolling here. Probably the final play of the quarter, and here's McReynolds up the middle, trying to break away, and he cannot. He's dragged down at the 24-yard line, but still a big run for him as he went right through the middle. That'll be how we end the third quarter as we're up 31-17 and trying to end our first game on a high note. Into the fourth quarter now, 1st and 10. Quick throw right side on the RPO, and there's Anthony Brandenburg, the backup tight end, getting the first down. His first catch of the season. And now here's a handoff to McReynolds up the middle. He's going to get the first down up to the 4. And now we'll try to punch it in here. 2nd and goal. We're going to go with the screen. This time it's not picked off. McReynolds spins out 2 defenders, and he gets pushed into the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Raiders. And we go up by 3 scores now. It's 38-17. But now we got to play some defense here. Hollins is looking, throws over the middle, and he's going to complete it for the first down as he finds Eager. He's up to 3 catches for 40 on the day. And now here is 1st and 10, and they just do not even block Harris Walters as he gets into the backfield for the sack. That'll lead to a 2nd and 17. Here's a dump off right side. It's completed to Jackson, and oh, what a miss there. He ends up getting 16 of the 17 he needed, and now it's going to be 3rd and 1. I'm expecting a QB sneak, and they're going to get the first down. We called the right play, it just didn't work out. Now 3rd and 7, and we'll see what Hollins decides to do. He's going to try to get the first, but Ziegler tackles him in the open field, and he's a yard short. So now 4th and 1. South Alabama trying to stay alive here. And that's going to be thrown over the middle. What in the world just happened? Ziegler bumped into the corner, and Eager got wide open because of it. That was a perfect pick play right there by South Alabama. But kind of our faults, to be honest with you, as Shepley's going to run it in for the touchdown. Let's make it a 2-score game. It's 38-24. They're not out of it quite yet. But they do kick it deep to us, and now we have a chance to run the clock down as much as we possibly can. Here's a throw left side. Stokes with a nice spin. He'll be just a couple of yards short of the marker. That'll lead to a 3rd and 2. Goss in the shotgun again. Quick throw. That's completed. It's Hooks who's all the way up to the 41-yard line for another first down. That'll keep the drive going and the clock moving. Hand off to McReynolds on 3rd and 7, and he gets stopped short of the marker. South Alabama calls a timeout, and now with 2:52 to go, we'll see what the Jaguars do here as broken tackle there at first, and then Jackson gets laid down after a yard. They're going to go no huddle, obviously, trying to conserve as much time as possible. 3rd and 9, quick throw right side. That's nearly picked off, but they end up completing it. Oh, my goodness, this defense this year, man. We won't have a long season if they play like this all year, as there's a completion for the first down past the 40. Hollins is having a pretty good day, even though he's throwing a pick and has thrown no touchdown passes. 2nd and 10, Hollins looks over the left side. He finds Eager for the first down, up to the 20. And we're just past the 2-minute warning. So South Alabama has a shot here if they can score. And there's a completion. That should have been a pick, but the game would not let me pick it. It is what it is. It's a feature. Works as intended. First and goal. We send the blitz, and it's going to get to Hollins as he tried to get away, but to no avail. Now it's going to be second and goal. Hollins has time. He runs out of it very quickly, though, as he's brought down yet again. That'll lead to a third and goal. As Hollins looks to complete something here, but he's going to throw it right at his right tackle. What did he do to you, man? Sheesh. Fourth and goal. Last shot for the Jaguars as Hollins throws it into double coverage, and that's deflected. And despite a very tough performance by the South Alabama team, we win game 1 of the season. 38-24 is your final. And a great game for Braylon McReynolds, who made his debut with us today. He rushed for 93 yards and a touchdown on 13 carries in the game. Also had 2 catches for 31 and a receiving touchdown. So overall, a pretty good game for McReynolds in his debut. Andrew Paul ran for 85 yards and a touchdown. Pierre Goss, 24-35, 235, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Also ran for 40 yards on 9 carries. Jared Hollins had an up-and-down game for South Alabama, 23-36, 390 yards, but he also threw a pick and lost a fumble. But overall, I'll take the W. Well, looking at some of the other top 25 games from around the country, we have Missouri blowing out FCS Midwest, Michigan takes care of business against Buffalo, Ohio State beats the hell out of Bowling Green, and surprise, surprise, we're actually ranked after beating South Alabama. Texas and Clemson win, Auburn takes care of business, Penn State with a win, Texas Tech puts up 70, Oregon puts up 54, Nebraska with a 49-10 win over Northern Illinois, Bama beats West Virginia, Florida beats Duke in a national championship rematch, UCLA takes care of Boston College, Notre Dame blanks Maryland 52-0, Louisville with a big win over USF, USC only puts up 21 on UNLV, Georgia beats Florida State, LSU beats Houston, and Miami beats Utah, and SMU barely beats Washington. So now Florida is the number 1 team in the nation once again. Number 2 team in the nation is Notre Dame, the defending champs. And like I mentioned before, we are now ranked number 23 in the nation. And I'm kind of superstitious about that just because usually when I end up getting ranked, I end up messing it up somehow in the very next game I play. But we'll have to see what happens as we go through the players of the week. There's Nolan Ray, Offense Player of the Week for Conference USA. Hate that guy. And then our top 5 in the Heisman race are Decorian Moore, Julian Saden, Dylan Raiola, Dallas Wilson, and Marcel Reed. I don't know why Reed decided to transfer to Ohio State when Sands there, but more power to him, I guess. So now we head into week number 2 of the season, and we're going to be hosting Georgia Tech this week, who won their first game last week against Arkansas State, in a game that probably was a little closer than it probably should have been. I know I said probably twice, it's fine. But Georgia Tech ended up scoring 10 points in the fourth quarter to get the dub there. Georgia Tech overall is one of the better teams that are on our schedule. Probably not better than Tennessee on paper at very least, but they're still a very strong team coming out of the ACC. And they're a team that we're relatively evenly matched with this season. They did finish 6-7 last year, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of 6-7s. Please don't. But overall, like I mentioned, Georgia Tech, definitely one of the better teams that we're going to be playing this season. So we're going to have to bring our A game if we want to win this one. We do have a better overall team, basically just being 2 overall points higher on defense, but we're mostly evenly matched, so it should be a pretty good matchup here as we play our second game in a row at home to open up the season, as we look to start this season off 2-0. So we're going to kick it deep to Georgia Tech to start this thing off. This one is underway, and that's going to go into the end zone. They're actually going to take it out of the end zone, which probably wasn't a good idea because now they have the ball inside the 20. And one key player we really have to worry about in this game is wide receiver Isaiah Canyon. He is a very high overall player, but definitely got to worry about a lot of these guys, including sophomore redshirt quarterback Amon King, who's going to scramble here on first down. He's going to pick up the first down and more, getting down at about the 39 as Georgia Tech goes up tempo here. King will swing it out right side. That's going to be a nice first down and more for them as Ronnie Phillips, the tight end, finally gets pushed out at the 26, and this has not been a good start for this offense. King off of the play fake, throws it to Phillips again. He breaks a tackle. They'll pick up a couple of yards on second down to make it a 3rd and 2. So they'll hand it off this time, and we try to get the stop here, but we do not as Trelane Maddox is able to pick up the first down. He'll get the carry again on the very next play. Goes absolutely nowhere, but Shakai Woods is hurt. That's a big injury right there in the middle of the D-line, as here's a counter play now for Maddox. He gets blasted by Tolbert and calls up the football, and Tolbert is able to get his own recovery. Huge play to keep points off the board, and now we're on offense. Here's Braylon McReynolds getting the carry. He had a nice game last week, and he's looking to pick right back up where he left off, getting a 30-yard gain to open things up. Now 1st and 10, hand off to Andrew Paul. He goes nowhere. Good stop there by the Georgia Tech defense. Now it's 3rd and 9. Goss will drop back. Quick throw over the middle. That's going to be picked off. So we give it right back after forcing a turnover. And they might take this all the way back to the residence. But Iverson Hooks makes a touchdown-saving tackle. Just not a good decision there by us at all. It's picked off by Curtis Tan, the sophomore strong safety. And now Georgia Tech has a chance to get some points. Nice throw over the middle for the first down by King. And that'll lead to a 2nd and goal from the 4 now. Hand off to Maddox, and he gets stood up and brought down. No gain on the play. Robert Sampson making a big play there to make it a 3rd and goal. King on the play fake. He's going to scramble, hit as he throws, dumps it off to Maddox, but a nice open field tackle there by Malcolm Ziegler. So they'll try a 22-yard field goal, and they're going to miss it wide right. So it doesn't seem like either one of us want to score early on in this game. It's still 0-0. 2nd and 8 for us. Here's a throw right side. Iverson Hooks is able to make the grab. And that'll lead to a 3rd and 3. Goss will drop back. He has time. And honestly, I had a man wide open on the left side. Just missed him. We go 3 and out. We're going to punt it away. So now here is Georgia Tech getting the football. Nice throw right side to Maddox for the first down off the angle route. Now 1st and 10, quick throw over the middle. That's completed. Nice spin move. Ooh-wee. Tank Boston with the spin to get the first down. And now here comes Georgia Tech. They're at our 43. Hand off to Maddox. He jukes out a defender, and he's going to get brought down by that same defender. Good play by Sampson. But 6 yards gained, and it's going to be 2nd and 4. Hand off to Maddox up the middle. He'll pick up the first down again. And the defense has to wake up here. Should be the final play of the quarter. They're going to go with a bubble screen, and that's going to be a first down all the way up to the 10. And that'll bring an end to the first quarter. We're still knotted up at 0-0, but Georgia Tech is driving and looking to get some points on the board. So now 2nd and 7. Hand off to Maddox. Nice spin move, and he's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets, as they get the first points of the game to make it 7-0 here in the second quarter. So we're back on offense now, facing a 3rd and 11. Here's Goss. Under pressure, throws, and it's going to be caught for the first down. Iverson Hooks comes down with it. So now we're moving the football a little bit. 2nd and 7. Goss swings it out right side to McReynolds, and he tries to spin out the defender, but he is caught after a 2-yard gain. Now 3rd and 5. Goss rolls to his right. He's going to throw last second, and it's caught for the first down. Nathan Keys is all the way up to the 49, and it'll be a new set of downs. So now 1st and 10, Goss off the play fake. He's looking. Throws it to a wide open Tavion Galloway who's down the field. Galloway gets all the way up to the 15-yard line, and it's going to be first down inside the red zone. So Goss out of the shotgun, hands it off to Paul, and Paul's able to pick up about 8 on the play to make it a very manageable 2nd and 2. And now here's a touch pass to Keys. Nice block by Paul, but Georgia Tech reacts to it well as Bradley Shaw is able to make the tackle to make it 3rd and 4. We're going to go RPO. Here's a throw left side, and it's going to be just short of the marker. Harmon got the catch, just couldn't do much with it. And we're going to get Georgia Tech to jump on 4th and 2. I was more than willing to go for that, but Georgia Tech just made my life a little easier by jumping. So now, 2nd and goal from the 1. We're going to go with the old goal line. Strong toss. Peam. Touchdown, Blue Raiders, as Andrew Paul punches that one in. And we are knotted up at 7. Under 5 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. Georgia Tech trying to make something happen, but King's going to be brought down by Ty Doris, who came through completely unblocked. That's going to lead to a 3rd and 16. They're going to go screen here. Maddox gets some blocks. Nice spin there, but it's not going to be enough to get the first down, as Georgia Tech will punt it away. King has not thrown an incompletion yet for them, as here's Paul juking forward to get a first down on 2nd and 10. Now 3 minutes to go. Here's a play fake, and down goes Goss. Andre Fuller Jr. is able to get back there. Now it's going to lead to a 2nd and 15. Goss has time this time. Lets it fly, one-on-one ball, and it's going to be incomplete. He just missed Galloway. That's going to lead to a 3rd and 15. And now here is Goss rolling to his right. He has time, throws, and it's going to be dropped, incomplete. Hooks just couldn't bring that one in. And Georgia Tech now has a chance to get some points before the half and take the lead. And a little bubble screen goes for about 6 yards. That's Hopkins making the grab. That'll lead to a 3rd and 4. We send the blitz, and King goes down again as we are able to get to him untouched one more time. So now we have a chance to take the lead before the half. Here's Goss on 1st and 10, rolling back. Just throws it away. Not going to take any risks down the field like that. That'll lead to a 3rd and 10. Goss looking, has time, scrambles, and he's going to throw last second, but he was across the line, so it's not going to count. But hey, hell of a job by him to just keep the play alive, but unfortunately it is not going to count. It's going to be an illegal forward pass, and we're going to have to punt it away now. So here's Ben Paulo, the true freshman punter. He gets a nice kick there. That's going to bounce all the way down to the 3-yard line. What a punt. 3rd and 12 now. We're going to try to get a safety here. But Maddox gets around, and he gets blasted by Collins Achimpong as Tavares Mustard is hurt. But now we have great field position after the punt. Here's a swing pass left side. And about 6 yards on the play for McReynolds. We're going to go no huddle here, though. But now we're going to face a 3rd and 4. Goss on the play fake. He's going to scramble, and he just picks up the first down up to the 34. We do have no timeouts remaining at the moment, so we're just going to take the field goal here. Jacob Taylor from 51 yards out is good. And we take a 10-7 lead into the half. And a very, very heavily contested first half here as neither team is able to break away, really. And it's a relatively low-scoring game for this series. Second half action now. We start off with the football, but we're facing a 3rd and 7. Goss is going to scramble, gets a block. He has the first down and more, and he finally slides down at the 45-yard line. Huge play there for Goss. Now 1st and 10. They're going to jump off sides here as McReynolds is dropped in the backfield. I think Donald was just lined up off sides. So an easy 5 yards there for us as we backed him up. Well, not Donald, Dowdle. Whatever. 1st and 5. Here's a quick throw left side. Galloway makes the grab. He'll get the first down up to the 42. Now 3rd and 10. We'll see if we can convert here. Goss has a man, and he just overshoots his man, but there's a flag on the play, and honest to God, if I'm calling it right down the middle, I really don't like that DPI call, but since it benefited me, I'm not going to complain about it. Bradley Shaw got there late, but I mean, I don't know if I'd call that a DPI, but hey, again, I will take that as there's an angle route pass to the right side as McReynolds picks up the first. Now 3rd and 8 from the 14. Here's Goss. He has time. He's going to scramble, trying to pick up the first, and I think he just got it. Yes, he did. So he's up to the 5. Now 3rd and goal from the 2. We're going to go with a screen pass. And there's Paul making the grab, and he's not going to get there. So close. He had the blocks, but just couldn't get there. We're going to go for it on 4th and 1, and Goss is just going to dive ahead and get in. Touchdown, Blue Raiders, and we take a 2-score lead now. Taking up a lot of clock here. So now Georgia Tech with the football, and here's a deep shot right side, and that's going to be tipped up. Wow. I can't believe that just happened. Well, I guess I can because it's an EA game. But off of the deflection, Tank Boston makes the grab and takes it all the way to the house. I mean, I guess it could happen IRL too, but still, just annoying. For 17-14, and then on 3rd and 13, we're going to throw a pick. Yeah, this quarter is definitely going very well for us now, as Georgia Tech has a chance to at very least tie the game up here. 1st and 10. Here's the throw right side. It's completed. 1st down and more all the way up to the 6-yard line. And King has 1 incompletion so far in this game. Here's a play fake. He dumps it off left side. That's going to be a touchdown for Phillips. And Georgia Tech takes the lead here. It is 21-17 now. 1:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And here's an RPO pass to Hooks. He makes the grab for about 9 yards. Now it's going to be 3rd and 1. We're just going to give it to Paul. Nice block there. It's going to be a 1st down. So we move the sticks here. 3rd and 3. Time winding down here in the 3rd. Goss rolls to his right. He throws last second, and it's going to be caught for the 1st down. Kason Stokes up to the 40. That'll end the 3rd quarter. Georgia Tech leads 21-17, and it's looking like this one's going to go down to the wire. We're into the 4th quarter now. First play of the 4th. Handoff to Paul. He's going to pick up about 5. That'll make it a 2nd and 5. Goss in the shotgun. He'll fake it. Here's a dump off left side. Ooh, and there's Anthony Brandenburg trying to jump over a defender. It didn't work out, but he gets 4. That'll lead to a 3rd and 1, and Paul's going to be brought down in the backfield for a 1-yard loss off the RPO play. And we're going to go for it here on 4th down, and we're going to get Georgia Tech to jump again. So we are going to get a 1st down just by default, as Shamik Jones is the one who jumped off sides. Now 3rd and 10. Goss has time. Throws left side, has a man there, but it's going to be picked off. He just completely overshot Galloway, and it gets picked off in the end zone. Lakai Rowland coming down with that one. So now Georgia Tech's looking to extend their lead. King throws over the middle. It's completed. 1st down and more for Tank Boston all the way up to the 40. He's having a great game today. So now 1st and 10. RPO, left side. That's going to be completed for about 7. Really need the defense to dig in here. 2nd and 3. Here's a fake pitch. And they have a man wide open over the middle, but King's going to scramble, and he picks up the 1st down regardless. But, man, they had a man wide open over the middle. 2nd and 7. Handoff to Maddox, and he'll pick up about 3 more yards to make it 3rd and 4. Really need to stop here. Here's King. Under pressure. He's going to be brought down for the sack. Shakai Woods comes through, and now we get the football back with a chance to potentially take the lead here, as Paul's going to get free, spins out a defender, and there goes Andrew Paul all the way up to the 49-yard line. So now under 6 minutes to go. 1st and 10, Goss over the middle. He's going to find his man Keys, and he's going to get all the way up to the 36-yard line for the 1st. Now 2nd and 10. Here's a screen pass. And here is McReynolds getting a nice block on the screen. He's going to get all the way up to the 11-yard line. Nikola Milivac is hurt, so that's not ideal. Now it's going to be a 3rd and 8. 4:29 to go. Goss throws over the middle, but it's tipped at the line. He had Hooks wide open. Just couldn't get it to him, so now Jacob Taylor will kick the field goal. Kick is up and good. And we trail by a point. We really need a defensive stop here, though. As here is King scrambling around, lets it fly down the field, has a man, and it's going to be incomplete, just straight up dropped. Oh, man. That sucks for them. Now we have the football with 2:48 to go, 3rd and 9. Here's a throw over the middle, and McReynolds just couldn't bring that one in. We're going to punt it away and hope our defense can get one more stop. They try a touch pass there, and Boston's going to lose some yardage as we use our first timeout. 3rd and 14, they're going to throw it left side, and nowhere for Maddox to go. We're going to bring him down, and we call a timeout again. So we have 1 timeout left, as we take over from the 40. And off McReynolds, he's going to fight forward and pick up about 3. That's the final play before the 2-minute warning. Well, no, this is actually. Here's a screen pass and a nice block there. McReynolds picks up a few. Now we hit the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 5. It's a huge play right here. As Goss throws, has a man, it's caught. Galloway gets all the way up to the 39-yard line, and it's a new set of downs. So now 2nd and 6, we're going to fake it, and Goss gets upended on the read option. Good play there for Georgia Tech. That'll lead to a 3rd and 9. Goss throws over the middle, has Galloway. He makes the grab, and Georgia Tech will call a timeout here. And we're going to try a 51-yarder, and Taylor's able to hit that one, and we have a 2-point lead with 56 seconds. But did we give Georgia Tech too much time? We'll have to see. 3rd and 6. They're going to go with a screen pass here. We force them out of bounds. It's going to be 4th and 1 now. Last chance for the Yellow Jackets. King will drop back. Has a man open right side. It's completed. 1st down and more. It's Phillips in the Middle Tennessee territory up to the 47. So now we really got to dig in here. Here's a screen pass. Maddox is brought down the backfield. He's going to lose 7. Georgia Tech has used their last timeout. 24 seconds to go. Here's King. Throwing right side. It's completed, and it's all the way up to the 43. They have to hurry up, though. 3rd and 6. Huge play here. They're going to spike it with 11 seconds to go. And this is their last shot once again. 4th and 6. And here's a quick throw left side. They're going to complete it, and they're in field goal range now. But can they spike the football with 7 seconds to go? They're going to rush to the line. Is time going to wind down on them? Doesn't look like it. And they get the spike off with 2 seconds to go. So now a 47-yard field goal will win it for Georgia Tech. Snap. Kick on the way. It's online. It's long enough, and it's good. And so Georgia Tech survives. They win 24-23. And this is probably our most heartbreaking loss of the season. We've had some really bad losses, but this one just hurts because it was a very winnable game. And we just didn't come up with the plays when we needed to, especially on those 4th downs. Amon King went 25 of 30 for 283 and 2 touchdowns. Goss went 25 of 48, 226 and 2 picks. He did rush for a touchdown, though, as did Andrew Paul. We probably didn't run with McReynolds enough, but it is what it is. I mean, tough loss early on in the season, but it's one we're just going to have to find a way to bounce back from. Looking at some other scores from around the country you may or may not care about, as Ohio State and Louisville get their wins over FCS teams. North Carolina beats Purdue. Notre Dame wins. Oregon beats USC. Florida loses to UCLA. Yes! Georgia blows out Bama. Good lord. And not a lot of crazy upsets here, as you can see. Doesn't look to be too many at all. And then looking at the conference games, Cincy actually got played close by Missouri State. Good job, Missouri State, representing the conference. Gotta love it. But yeah, that's about it, really. I mean, rough loss for us. Texas is now number 1 in the nation after Florida lost to UCLA. And Notre Dame's number 2 still. And obviously, we're not going to be ranked anymore after losing our game to Georgia Tech. But I'm sure we'll be ranked again, and then we'll have another opportunity to blow being ranked. I mean, that's just kind of what happens. I'm not trying to be too negative about it, but at the same time, that's kind of what has happened to us so far in this series, as Caden Woodby for Coastal Carolina and Jacoby Robinson. Those are your players of the week nationally. And then in the Conference USA, Mekhi Alexander from Delaware and Sidney Volk from Kennesaw State are your players of the week within the conference. Our Heisman race is currently looking like Dylan Raiola at number 1, Eli Holstein now at LSU at number 2, Austin Simmons at Georgia at number 3, Damon Williams for BYU is number 4, and Tanner Turk at number 5. Our next opponent is the best team in the state of Tennessee at the moment, the Tennessee Volunteers. They're coming off of a win over Georgia State. 35-13 was the final there. And the Vols really are the big bro of the state of Tennessee. Obviously, you have us, you have Vanderbilt, you have Memphis, and then you have Tennessee, who is kind of the top team. IRL Vanderbilt really is the top team now, but the Volunteers have kind of been that team in the state of Tennessee for most of the existence of all these teams. But it would be a huge statement if we could find a way to get a victory at Neyland Stadium, mind you, over the Volunteers. But we'll have to wait until the next video to see how we do against them. If you guys enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit the sub button if you're new, turn your notifications on, and I will see you guys in the next one.